y'all, it's SOUPtember. This is a huge collaboration hosted by LeAnne at the Mennonite Farmhouse. And there is going to be a video every single day in the month of September with a soup recipe. At least one, but some people have more than one recipe. And you're going to get some great ideas for some soups, especially when it starts getting cold. It's a little bit chilly here in the morning, so I cannot wait to watch all the videos and get some great soup recipes. And LeAnne is giving away a $100 gift card, and that could be to Amazon or it can be to Visa, so you could just get anything from anywhere. So make sure you like and subscribe to LeAnne's channel. She has an awesome channel. You're going to love it. And make sure you comment on all the videos, because that gives you an entry into the giveaway. So make sure you leave a heartfelt comment, that way that YouTube won't think it's spam and erase it, so you can get all your chances to win this giveaway. And she's going to do it on a live stream on October the 3rd. So make sure you check out her channel. I'll have all that information linked down below in the description box. And there's going to be a playlist, so you can click on that playlist and watch all the videos. And this year I am making two soups. I'm making a broccoli cheddar soup. It's supposed to be a Panera knockoff. It is so good. You're going to love that soup. And it's really easy to put together. And also I'm making a cottage pie soup, because it's made with ground beef. It's so good. And both of them are so versatile. You could add or leave out anything you want. They kind of have the same basic recipe. And I'm doing like green beans and corn, but anything that you put in your shepherd's pie, you can put in that soup. So it's very versatile, and you can mix and match what you want to put in there. So I'm excited to share these recipes with you. So I'll turn you around and get started on the soup. And I'll also have the recipes linked down below in the description box, so you can make these. So I hope you'll enjoy it. Here's what you'll need for the soup. A pound of ground beef. I'm using my canned ground beef. Salt and pepper. A couple tablespoons of flour. Some onion powder and garlic powder to taste. 2 cups of chicken broth I'm using. You could use beef broth. I am using an onion and some Worcestershire sauce. And I'm using instant mashed potatoes, but you can use your own. You can use your own recipe. I am straying from the recipe a little bit, but I will show you exactly what I'm doing, and tell you what I'm doing, and I'll show you the recipe that I got this from. So I am browning some butter, and I will chop up my onion and add that to the butter and get that sauteed. If you're starting with ground beef, go ahead and brown your pound of ground beef, take it out, and then do this step, butter and onions. I'm adding in 2 tablespoons of flour. Get that mixed up really well with the butter and the onions. Make sure you stir it and don't let the butter burn and the flour. You also want to make sure you keep stirring it and let it cook just a little bit. That way it cooks that raw flour taste out. Now I'm going to add the 2 cups of chicken broth and stir that around and get that mixed in really good, and make sure I don't have any lumps. I'm adding in a couple tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Alright, I'm going to add in salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder to taste. Alright, I'm adding in my mashed potatoes. You don't want any lumps, so you want it a smooth consistency. Alright, I'm going to add in 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. And I'm going to stir that around. I'm sure you could just use all milk, or you could use half and half if you'd like. I started using my whisk, and it's really smooth now. And it's thickening up really good. I'm adding in my 1 pound of ground beef. It smells amazing in here. I'm going to let that sit, and I'm going to figure out what kind of vegetables I want to put in my soup. I decided corn and green beans sounded good, so I just took some corn from the freezer and thawed it out in the microwave, and I just added in a can of green beans. I like frozen better, but I didn't have any on hand, so I just used a can. I rinsed them really well, because I'm not the biggest green bean fan, but I added that to that, and you could also add in peas or carrots, or you could add all of them in there, but just let it come to a simmer and let that heat through. And now I'm going to add in the cheese. I'm just shredding in some Munster cheese, what I had left over, but you could use any kind of cheese, and that is it. And this soup was so good, so creamy and so comforting. It was just an amazing soup. I'll definitely make that again, and I will have the recipe linked down below in the description box. Now we're going to start on the Panera bread, broccoli, and cheese soup. I'm so excited for this. I've got 1 tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to saute an onion there. I've got some broccoli. It calls for fresh broccoli, but I'm just using frozen since I'm doing a pantry challenge. So I've got my broccoli here. I've got some shredded cheese. I've got flour, some shredded up carrots. It calls for half and half, but I'm using heavy whipping cream, and then I just added some milk to it for 2 cups, and then I've got 2 cups of broth. I've got that that pint right there, and that adds up to 2 cups. So I'm gonna go ahead and saute my onions, and then we'll add everything else. All right, I'm going to add a stick of butter in here. The recipe wants you to start doing this in another pan, but I'm just going to do it in the same pan with the onions. It's exactly the same thing I did with the other soup, the cottage pie or the shepherd's pie soup. So I'm going to melt this in the pan, and then we'll add the flour as the thickener. 1/4 of a cup of flour. All right, it says to slowly add in your chicken broth. This is 2 cups. A quart of chicken broth is 2 cups because I asked Siri. All right, now I'm going to slowly add in my 2 cups of this heavy cream, or heavy cream with milk. So I'm going to cook this for about 15 minutes and let that thicken up. And now I'm going to add in the broccoli and also the carrots, and we'll let it simmer for another 20 minutes. All right, it's simmered for 20 minutes. I did put salt and pepper in there. The recipe says to put it in now, and I thought I would rather have that salt and pepper in there with the broccoli. So I don't know about you, but I like mine a little chunky. So I'm going to try and mash up the broccoli, not pulverize it, but I like mine chunky. But if you don't, you could also take your immersion blender and make it smooth. But I like to taste the broccoli in it, almost like a loose broccoli and cheese. And now I'm going to add my cheese. I had some Munster cheese left over. Cheese is already melted. It is time to get us a nice bowl. Look at that. That looks amazing. Y'all, this was so good. You've got to try this recipe. It was kind of like a warm hug. Just a really comforting soup that was delicious and easy to make. So I highly recommend it. It was a 10 out of 10. You got to try it. Y'all have got to try those soups. They are so good. I'll have the recipes linked down below in the description box. I'll have LeAnne's channel. Make sure you go check out her channel, like and subscribe. Watch all the videos in the playlist to get you some great soup recipes. So, and make sure that you comment on all the videos so you can be included in that giveaway for the $100 either Amazon or Visa gift card. So, I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all in the next video.